good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now, my man Sess, one half of the crew, man, he's out. You know what I'm saying? He had some a situation that he had to tend to, so he couldn't join us for tonight's show. So in his place, I got my man KaShad back on the show. He's been on the last two videos I put up. KaShad, man, let him know where you're from, man.
Little Rock, Arkansas, man. How y'all doing?
All right. And then I got my man Bo. He's been on a few times, man. Mr. Truth the Facts About Boxing. Go check his channel out. Bo, let him know who you be and where you from, man.
Man, Bo from Chicago, man.
Word up, word up. All right, for this one, we want to get into the fight. One of the fights that's going down on the 17th this Saturday. It's one of the fights that are going kind of under the radar. Really good fight. It should be a huge war if everything goes out as planned. It's going to be prospect and believe 2012 Olympic gold medalist, Mr. OLEKSANDR USYK. He's 9-0 with 9 knockouts. He's 6'3" with 78-inch reach. He is a southpaw. Going up against Mr. KRZYSZTOF GLOWACKI. He's 26-0 with 16 knockouts. 6 foot, 75-inch reach, so he has a 3-inch reach disadvantage, and he's also a southpaw. He's going up against him for his WBO Cruiserweight title that he took off of Mr. Marco Huck last year. All right, fellas, this is an excellent fight at Cruiserweight. I'm going to go to my man KaShad first. What do you think about this fight, man, and give me your prediction.
Well, I'm just going to say I don't know much about Usyk. You just gave me his breakdown there, 9-0, 9 knockouts, 3-inch reach advantage. So that's pretty good in his favor. I imagine he's just knocking motherfuckers out. But I think experience is what's going to control this fight. GLOWACKI, it took a lot to beat Marco Huck, who was on like his 24th. I don't know what number defense he was on. It was like 24th. He was going for the record for cruiserweight defenses when he had it, and GLOWACKI ruined that, and that was a big fight on PBC. But I think GLOWACKI's going to win that fight just off experience. I think the reach disadvantage might not be much. And again, I may be selling Usyk short, just like I just sold Comey short. But I don't care. I'm going with GLOWACKI. He took a nice shot from Huck, went down, got up, and put that man out. He's defended twice. He's a champion. He's going through the politics bullshit of almost getting stripped for whatever reason nowadays in boxing. So I'm gonna rock with GLOWACKI on that one.
All right, Bo. What do you think the fight? How it's gonna play out? And give me your prediction, boss.
First off, again, thanks for having me here. I like how my man broke it down, but I'm going with Usyk.
All right.
And let me tell you why I'm going with Usyk. I talk about this, you can hear me say it, and people like to disprove this. Usyk has over 300 amateur fights. So although it's not on the pro level when you talk about experience, but he has the experience when you talk about seeing different styles and being in hostile territory and dealing with going into somebody else's backyard and seeing their style and having to deal with the judges of things of that nature. When you have over 300 amateur fights, you've seen it all because you fought basically everybody, the best from all over the globe.
Right.
So I like the fact that he has 300 amateur fights. Again, it's not pro level experience. I get that, but it's that experience enough to develop his skill. He's a big man that fights like a big man.
Let me add. Can I throw something at you with that one though? Just because you said that, 300 amateur fights. That reminds me of Lomachenko, who lost to Orlando Salido when he jumped up too early.
Right.
Point.
And I'm glad you brought that. That's a good point. Here's the difference. GLOWACKI doesn't fight like Orlando Salido.
No,
That's
he doesn't.
the only difference. GLOWACKI doesn't fight like Orlando. Orlando Salido is a throwback, old school, grimy grit fighter.
Yeah.
GLOWACKI doesn't fight like that. If GLOWACKI fought like that, I'd GLOWACKI all day long, and you're right. But he fights like a big man, so he fights tall. He's very patient and methodical. When he gets you hurt, he keeps you at the end of his punches. He doesn't smother himself. He'll keep you at the end of his punches. He has better boxing skills. He moves very good for a big man. Like, he closes distance and creates that space really good for a big man. I haven't seen nobody do that since Lennox Lewis. And because although GLOWACKI beat Mark Huck, and I give him all the credit in the world for it, but he needed the knockout to do it because Huck kind of was outboxing him.
Right.
So Usyk is, I'm not gonna say a better boxer than Huck, but he has these advantages that he can use to his advantage. Glowacki is tough. The only, like, I can see people going for Glowacki because he's a proven champion. Okay, he beat the fucking man, you know, and he defended it against two very good quality opponents in Steve Cunningham. All right, so I can see people going with Glowacki because he's a proven champion. I just like what I see from Usyk, but and you know what? And it's crazy because just the other day I was certain on it, and 2K said something, so I had to go back, and I can definitely see people wanting to pick Glowacki. I mean, I pick Usyk, so I'm gonna stick with my pick.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see the reason why people want to pick Glowacki, because when you're a proven champion, and let's make something very clear, Glowacki experience at that level against them opponents, he takes us in the ring, he might come out and jump on Usyk and see, how does this dude handle this kind of pressure since he hasn't had that? Because I'm the dude, let me jump on him and see what his experience level is, because Usyk does have one flaw, fatal flaw. He does this shit right here, what I call the Deontay Wilder defense.
Go straight back.
And then he comes out with his punches.
Yeah.
And that's detrimental against a guy like Glowacki.
I agree 100%. See, this is one of them fights, man. Because KaShad made a great point, and you made a great counterpoint about you know, Usyk being put in there with a guy too quickly. Your great counterpoint about Orlando Salido, how Glowacki doesn't fight like him. Orlando Salido pretty much roughed up Lomachenko. He did a lot of veteran things, a lot of bullying in the ring that Lomachenko wasn't ready for at the professional level at that time. Glowacki's not the one to do this against a guy like Usyk. But, I mean, both these guys, they both have nice-ass overhand lefts. Glowacki actually knocked down Steve Cunningham with his overhand left. Perfectly placed punch. Put him on the seat of his ass. Alexander Usyk's overhand left, man, he throws a jab, or he may throw a double jab, and then he'll dip to the right, then he'll throw that motherfucker like that. And that dip to the right is what confuses his opponents, and it leaves them completely open on the right side. That's where he gets that left hand in. He also throws punches and bunches, man. He's always throwing combination punches. You don't ever see Alexander Usyk do, you know, one, then wait, 1, 2, then wait again. No. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he's gonna come back. 1, 2. It's always punches and bunches. And he's also a great finisher. If you're hurt, obviously he's 9-0 with 9 knockouts. But it's against limited opposition. But anyway, if you're hurt, yeah.
I was just about to say it.
I know. I already knew you was gonna say it. I had to throw it in there. But if he's hurt, if he's got a guy hurt, he's definitely going for the kill. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I like about him. My cons about him, though, man, he stands too upright. And Bo pretty much touched a little bit of it. He stands too upright, and his defense is like this. So he's got a straight-ass back. I mean, it's like a fucking wall, and he's like this, okay? In his last fight, there's a guy named Pedro Rodriguez he fought. Teed off on him, okay? Basically, I treat it as if what I've been saying about Golovkin. If you punch with him, you will stop his offensive attack. That's exactly what Pedro Rodriguez did with that flurry. You know, Usyk was coming in, but Pedro Martinez like, nah, motherfucker, Punched with him. Usyk was like, let me do this. And Pedro got more than one punch through his guard and around his guard. And not until Rodriguez stopped flurrying, that's when Usyk came back with his shit. That right there is a no-no. Because fucking Glowacki, if you let this motherfucker tee off on you, oh, well, shit, man, you might get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that. Then, of course, there's the experience factor my man KaShad said. He has 9 fights, 9 wins, 9 knockouts. But there's a lot that we don't know about him because he's fighting, C and D, F level opposition. You know what I'm saying? So, this is the first fight where we can actually say, yo, the skills that he's been showing against these C and D level fighters, it's going to actually translate to the elite level fighters of the Cruiserweight division. This is the first fight where we can actually see that. That's a knock on him. So we don't know what we're going to get. With Glowacki, man, that motherfucker jabs, dog. This nigga's jab is like a straight. He knocked down Steve Cunningham twice with his fucking jab, B. You know what I'm saying? and he's an underrated counterpuncher. He was waiting on Steve Cunningham the whole goddamn fight. Like, Cunningham would come in, and we had that interview, Bo, on the Movement podcast with Steve Cunningham. Cunningham even said himself, yo, sometimes I don't follow my own advice. I should have boxed Glowacki instead of actually trying to apply pressure. This is what Steve Cunningham said. And this is what Glowacki played, to his advantage. Steve Cunningham's coming in recklessly with this pressure. Glowacki's standing back. Oh, this way. He's a southpaw, my bad. He's standing back, and he just, with the overhand left. Okay? He was looking for that shit the entire fight, and he was successful with it pretty much the entire fight. So he's an underrated counterpuncher. All right? My cons with him, absolutely no motherfucking foot movement, B. My man stands straight up in a wide-ass stance. He has no lateral movement. He moves back, then he moves forward. He moves back, then he moves forward. And the shit is slow as molasses. You know what I'm saying? No footwork. Against a guy like Usyk, who has pretty decent footwork for a big guy, man. And he can provide angles on top of that. If Glowacki is not moving the right way in that ring, I can see Usyk going to the side of him, giving him combinations, because like I said, he throws punches and bunches, giving him combinations at angles that can end up knocking Glowacki out. I mean, and he lacks fundamentals on defense, man. I'm sorry. Glowacki's defense is fucking terrible to me, bro. He's there to be hit. He's there to be hit. Steve Cunningham was hitting his mother. He knocked Steve Cunningham down 4 fucking times, B. 4 times. And still only won by 4 points on 2 judges' scorecard. At least 1 anyway. That tells me that if Steve Cunningham would have stayed up at least twice, he could have possibly pulled out a split decision. He gets hit too much, B. Even against Marco Hutt. Marco Hutt was tagging this motherfucker up. He even dropped him. You know what I'm saying? He needs to. He's got to work on his fundamentals defensively. Nah, it's too late now because the fight is in 2 fucking days.
Too late,
yeah, the fight's in 2 days. But the good news is, KaShad, the good news about this is Usyk also lacks fundamentals on defense. He's there to get hit. That's why I say this can be a war.
I think the Cruiserweight division doesn't have a really defensively sound fighter. I mean, Cunningham, he's on his P's and Q's. He dots his I's and crosses his T's on defense, but you see he gets laid down. He got laid down 4 times by Glowacki. I don't really know of a really defensively sound fighter in the Cruiserweight division.
Yon Pablo Gomez, that motherfucker, he's pretty.
I mean, he's slick though. Like he's more of like I don't know where his origin is, but is he like the more aggressive Ergo Lara of the division?
Yeah, I mean he don't have that kind of defense. But compared to everybody else, that would be your guy that's more defensively sound than a Marco Hutt, Glowacki.
Well, there's one guy out there you guys are forgetting about. His name is Dorticos.
Oh yeah. I forgot about him.
Exactly where's Dorticos from?
Yeah, he's from Cuba. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. He's a prospect. He's actually he's ranked number 10 right now on the pound for pound list. So yeah, he is very defensively sound. I forgot about him. So
what Dorticos is his offense, man. He lacks offense.
Well,
he relies too much on his defense for me.
Well, that's a lot of the Cuban fighters.
It's not that they lack; they just do enough to win.
Erislandy Lord does enough to win. He's perfect for that. I think Guillermo Rigondeaux does more than the average Cuban fighter on offense. Who? Let me say this: who is actually very excelled on defense as well. He does more. But my prediction, man, I could definitely see a motherfucker getting knocked the fuck out. I've been back and forth. I'm gonna go ahead and go with my initial prediction. I'm gonna go with Usyk. Yeah, I know, man. I know.
All right, man. Dude get knocked the hell out.
I know, right? I'm gonna go with Usyk, man. He's got more fundamentals. He's more fundamentally sound. But nah, you're right. I'm jumping on a limb here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm actually saying that his amateur pedigree and his his amateur pedigree will play a part, and his lack of experience will not play a part. He will basically be able to transfer his abilities against C and D level fighters against the elite. I'm banking on that. That's basically what I'm saying. But I got Usyk, man. I think it'll be a late stoppage. I say 11th round, 10th or 11th round.
And if Usyk don't win, remember my name is Cecil Robinson from Baltimore, Maryland.
I'm fucked up, man. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add, fam?
Oh man, one dream matchup. I want to see Rigo fight Gonzalez, man. That'll be a dope fight.
Oh,
I really would love it. I saw it in the community. People was voting on it. I think Rigo will break Gonzalez's fucking jaw. He hit too much.
Oh yeah.
I know Gonzalez, you can knock him down, but he like Floyd. He take that punch away.
Yeah.
I would just love to see that fight.
Yeah.
If Rigo goes to 126, I'm looking forward to him fighting either Shelby or Gary Russell.
Man, he beats the shit out of Lee Selby. Lee Selby's my dude. That's my motherfucking dude, cause he comes to the ring to Big L. But no, bro, that motherfucker gets his ass. He will be handing his jaw over to Rigo, B. No way, bro.
Rigo got to make some move with Rock Nation. I would expect him to do something, man. They paying him money.
Yeah.
Another matchup, Bo. A lot of people don't think about this, but I watched the Olympics and shout out to the team that went out and did what they did. Shout out to Robisky Ramirez too for beating Shakira Stevenson. I went for Stevenson, but that was a damn good match.
Yeah.
This is a mythical match. I posted it, didn't get much love, but who would you guys taking? Clarissa Shields versus Cecilia Brækhus.
Cecilia Brækhus. Too much experience, bro. Too much experience. Now, let me say this. Wait
a minute. How do you take Usyk in the Glowacki fight?
Nigga.
But take Brækhus in the
KaShad. Brækhus is the fucking Floyd Mayweather of women's boxing, nigga. Glowacki is not.
It's looking like Shields is the Marvin Hagler of women's boxing.
Well, let me say this. This is one thing we're not looking at. Clarissa Shields is a middleweight. If she goes down to welterweight, she will possibly be draining the fuck out of herself.
It's just, we're just talking mythical match here. Who you taking, Bo?
I'm taking Cecilia Brækhus because she's one fine
motherfucker.
So I'm taking Clarissa because that woman look like she'll eat a house.
She do. That's why she'll drain her ass trying to go to 147 or welterweight. Women's welterweight might be different.
I don't know who she's gonna fight when she turns pro, but hopefully she signs with a good promotional pack and they promote her, man.
I'm hoping she can bring some type of notoriety to women's boxing. Yeah. I was hoping Cecilia Brækhus was able to do it, and she should have been able to do it. I think the fact that she's from Brazil and didn't speak English might have hurt her. So I'm hoping maybe Clarissa Shields can do that.
Well, that's a whole nother topic right there, man. I'll have to bring y'all niggas on for that shit. We can talk about that all day long. All right, fam. I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this segment. YouTube, do what you're doing in the comment section. Will be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.